Good morning, everyone. I am Teacher Jarrett. Oops. And we are starting a new lesson today. Our new lesson, our new weekly concept for this week is working with animals. Our essential question is, how do people work with animals? So we can see here, there is a woman, and she is with a dog, right? And the dog is working with her on a snow mountain, right? Yeah, so you can see that she is talking to the dog and training the dog to understand how to work on the snow mountain, right? So the title today is Animals and Us. Talk about it. What is the trainer teaching this dog? And so we can see the trainer is pointing down the hill to the dog. Maybe the trainer is pointing to someone who needs help, or maybe the trainer is pointing to where the dog needs to go if it runs away, right? So there's so many different things that animals can do to help us, right? And we talked previously in the past weeks about how animals help each other, right? Or how animals help themselves, how animals survive. But now we will talk about animals and humans, okay? Okay, so words to know. All right, I will make our word box here on the side. And we can start learning new words this week. Okay, so the first word we are going to learn is found. F-O-U-N-D, found. Okay, found is the past tense of the word to find. It means to have located something. Okay, so for example, found is the past tense of the word to find, right? To find is a verb in the present tense. And so the word found and the word to find means to have located something, right? So if you found something, it means you already located something. If you find something, it means that you just found something right now, okay? So for a sentence with this picture, we can say the dog dug a hole and found his bone, right? Because dogs usually try to find bones or other types of food that are buried underground, right? So let's try making our own sentence. So you can say, when I was walking to school yesterday, I found a coin on the ground, right? So you can say, when you were walking to school yesterday, you looked on the ground and you found a coin, right? So that means you located the coin on the ground. Okay, so here's another word. Let's do another word. Hard. Hard. Hard is spelled H-A-R-D. The horses are working hard. So we can see the horses are working hard, right? They're pulling this man on this machine. So hard means to do something with a lot of energy, right? So if you are working hard, or if you're doing something very hard, it means you're taking a lot of energy to do something. Now that's different from something that's hard, right? If something's hard, That means it's not soft. But this word, in this case, means that you're using a lot of energy to do something. So an example is that when I work hard to finish my chores around the house. We can just say, I work hard to finish my chores on time, right? So that means that you use a lot of energy so that you can finish your chores on time, right? So you work hard. So let's look at our next word. Near. Near is spelled N-E-A-R. The dog is near the trainer. So we can see the trainer is here and the dog is very close, right? So near means that something is close. Okay? It's close to you. So we can say as our example sentence, my house, we can say, my parents' house is near my school, right? So you can say your parents' house is near your school. So that means maybe your parents' house is here and your school is right here. So if you walk, maybe it only takes 1 or 2 minutes, right? Now, if the school is far, maybe if you walk, maybe it would take you 30 minutes, right? So that's the opposite of near. Far is the opposite. But today we learned this word, near. Near means something that is close. Okay, let's go to our next word. Woman. Woman. W-O-M-A-N. Woman is a word to describe a human who is a female. Okay? So, woman is a word used to describe a human who is female. Okay? So you can say a man, which is like me, I'm a man, or a woman, which is in this picture. The woman walks the dog. See, here's the dog, and here's the woman walking the dog. So for our example sentence, we can say, my mother is a woman. Okay? So your mother is a human who is a female, so we can say she is a woman, right? And a woman is usually older, okay? We can say describe an older human who is a female. So see how this woman is older? Okay, if it was a younger human, we would call her a girl. Okay? All right, let's go to our next word. Okay. Our next word is would. W-O-U-L-D. W-O-U-L-D. He would like to ride. Would is a word to show that you want to, or that someone wants to do something but might not be able to do it. Okay? So, but hasn't done it yet. Okay. So would is a word to show that someone Someone wants to do something. Someone. Would is a word to show that someone wants to do something but hasn't done it yet. So here in the example, you can see we said he would like to ride. So he hasn't started riding yet, but he would like to, right? So you can say, I would like to play on a basketball team next year, right? So you're not playing on a basketball team now, but you would like to play next year, okay? All right, let's go to the next page. Let me erase this. Now we'll go to the next page. Read together. Now I'll make our boxes again. We can keep learning new words. Okay. So let's do the next word. The next word is write. W-R-I-T-E. So the sentence example is, she will write what we need. So here's the lady, and she's a veterinarian, right? She's a pet doctor. And she's going to write what we need to take care of the cat, right? So write means to put something down on paper using a pen or pencil. Okay, so you can see here she's using a pen to write on paper. So she's putting something on paper using a pen or a pencil. We can actually make this even a little better, to put words on paper using a pen or pencil, right? Because when you write words. So let's make up our own sentence together. You can, my grandmother likes it when I write her letters, right? So you can say, my grandmother likes it when I write her letters. So if you use a pen or pencil and put letters or words down on paper, and then you send it to your grandmother, it's like you're writing a letter, right? So most grandmothers love that. So if you haven't done it yet, you should do it. All right, let's go to the next word. The next word is clever. Clever is spelled C-L-E-V-E-R. Clever is a word to describe someone or something that is smart and learns fast. Okay? So if you are clever, it means you're very smart and you learn fast. Okay? So we can see in this sentence, this bird is very clever because the bird learned to put the ball in the hoop, right? So for an example, we can say, my dog is very clever. He learns new tricks very quickly, right? So you can say, if your dog learns tricks very quickly, you say sit, and then he sits. And you say jump, and then he jumps. And you say lay down, and he lays down. And if he learns very quickly, if he or she learns very quickly, then you can say that you have a clever dog. If your dog learns very slowly, that's okay. It just takes some time to learn for that dog. Okay? Okay, let's go to the next word now. Signal. Signal is spelled S-I-G-N-A-L. Signal is a hand motion or a sign that tells someone or something what to do. Okay, so we can see in this picture, the trainer gives a signal. So the trainer has a dog who's sitting on the ground and she says, puts her hand up. And that might mean sit, or it might mean don't move, right? So let's make up a sentence. I put my hand up as a signal to tell my dog to sit. Right? So you can say, I put my hand up as a signal to tell my dog to sit, right? Okay, so that means when you put your hand up, it's a signal, and your dog sees that, and your dog knows that it has to sit down, okay? Now, your turn. Read the sentence for each word, then make up another sentence. So we already did that, right? We did that already for all of the words. So now we're going to go to the next page. Okay. Now we will do phonics and fluency, the long E sound. The letters Y and EY can make the long E sound in puppy and key. So I will read these words slowly first and then faster, okay? And then you can repeat them. Lucky, buddy, easy, grassy, alley, Mickey, penny, valley, sunny, city, sleepy, healthy. Okay, now remember this is the TH, okay? I know I talk about it every time, but it's very important that you learn this, okay? So remember, you say healthy, okay? Healthy. So when I say it, what does my tongue need to do? It has to come out, okay? So now I want you all to stick your tongues out on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay? So that's how our tongue has to move when we say this sound. So now I will say this sound again. Ready? Healthy. Healthy. Okay? Now I'll pause. Healthy. See my tongue come out? I could touch my tongue. So now it's your turn to say it. I want you to say healthy, but pause on the okay? And then touch your tongue a little bit. Healthy, okay? It's very important, so keep practicing, okay? Now I will say these words faster. Lucky, buddy, easy, grassy, alley, Mickey, penny, valley, sunny, city, sleepy, healthy. Okay? Good. Now let's go to the next page. Read together. Did you lose your key in the alley? We walk Ziggy when it is sunny. Okay, so these are some words that have the Y and EY sound that sound like the long E, right? So, did you lose your key in the alley? We walk Ziggy when it is sunny. Okay, so there's Ziggy, and it is sunny. Okay, now your turn. Look for these words with the long E in from puppy to guide dog. So here are the words. Puppy, lazy, ready, key, fussy, easy, Mickey, healthy, buddy, city. And I just noticed something that we need to pay attention to. This should be underlined like that, right? Because it's an EY sound. Okay. So now I will say them faster. Puppy, lazy, ready, key, fussy, easy, Mickey, healthy, buddy, city. Okay? And again, remember, practice, practice, practice this word because the TH is so important. So if you have to, pause and rewind and keep practicing until you can say healthy. Okay? Healthy. All right? Good. Now we're going to learn some more new words. So let me zoom in. Okay. So here are our new words. Now these are bigger words, but that's okay. You are so smart, so you will be able to learn them all. Okay. So our first word is advice. A-D-V-I-C-E. Advice. Okay. When you ask someone to help you learn something, you are asking for their advice. When you ask someone to tell you how to do something. When you ask someone to tell you how to do something, you are asking for their advice. Okay? So we can see on this, in this picture, the little boy is asking for advice from his coach, right? He wants the coach to tell him how to kick a soccer ball. So we can say the little boy is asking for advice from his coach so he can know how to kick a soccer ball. Okay? So the little boy is asking for advice from his coach so he can know how to kick a soccer ball. Now let's do our own sentence. Can you think of some time you asked for advice? I know one example. When I was little, I asked my mom advice on how to tie my shoes. Right? Oops. Because everyone has to learn how to tie their shoes, right? So when I was little, I asked my mom for advice on how to tie my shoes. So then my mom showed me how to tie my shoes, and I was able to do it, right? So that's the word advice. Now let's go to our next word. Career. Okay. So career. Career is spelled C-A-R-E-E-R. C-A-R-E-E-R. Career is a job or is a job a person has. Okay, so will do for a long time. Okay, so a career is a job that a person has and will do it for a long time. So, for example, a career is, a type of a career is being a teacher, right? Because when you start being a teacher, you plan to do that for a long time, maybe 20 years or 30 years. So that's your career, okay? It's your profession. It's something you will do for a long time. Or, well, let's write this sentence first. So, this person's career is being a teacher, okay? So his career is being a teacher. Now let's talk about another career. What's another career that you can do for a long time? Yes, you can be a doctor. A doctor is another type of career. Okay? Because when you become a doctor, you study in school for a long, long time. And then after you are done with school, you start working. And you do that job for a long time, right? You don't change jobs very frequently because that's what you learned. You learned to be a doctor. Okay? So that's the word career. Let's go to our next word now. Remarkable. Okay. So remarkable. Remarkable is spelled R-E-M-A-R-K-A-B-L-E. R-E-M-A-R-K-A-B-L-E. Remarkable is a word to describe someone or something is unusual and special. Okay, so in this picture, we can see that this boy is very remarkable, right? Because he can stand on his hands and move around, right? So we can say this boy is remarkable because he can stand on his hands and move around, right? So let's think of another example. I have an idea. You can say, my mother and father are remarkable because they are so nice and smart, right? So you can say, my mother and father are remarkable because they are so nice and smart, right? Your mother and father are very remarkable. That's very good, okay? So make sure you listen to them. Listen, because they are smart and they want to protect you and they want you to do good things, okay? Okay. Now, let's go to our next word. Okay. Our next word is soothe. Okay. Soothe is spelled S-O-O-T-H-E. S-O-O-T-H-E. Soothe. If something soothes you, makes you feel better, are hurt, or don't feel good. So, if something soothes you, it makes you feel better if you are hurt or don't feel good, okay? So we can see here, this is ice, right? So the child The ice soothes the child's hurt leg, right? So when you hurt your leg, if you hit it really hard or something, then you put ice on it to soothe it, right? So you soothe it because then it makes you feel better, right? Yeah. So you can say, when I fall down outside, my mother puts ice on my knee to soothe it, right? So when I fall down outside, my mother puts ice on my knee to soothe it. Because if you fall down and you hit your knee or you hit your elbow, your mother can put ice on it. And that makes it feel better, right? So that soothes your knee or your elbow. Okay. Now let's go to our next word. Trust. Okay. Trust. Trust is spelled T-R-U-S-T. Trust. If you trust someone, you think they are a good person and they will always do the right thing. Trust. If you trust someone, you think they are a good person and they will always do the right thing. So, for example, this little girl is telling this little girl a secret, right? So she doesn't want everyone to know. She only wants this girl to know. So we can say, the little girl in the pink shirt trusts the other girl. So she will tell her a secret, right? The little girl in pink, in the pink shirt, trusts the other girl. So she will tell her a secret. So the girl in the pink shirt will tell her a secret, okay? So we can also say, I trust my mother and father to protect me and help me be happy. Protect me from danger. Right? So if you think your mother and father are a good person and they will always do the right thing, then you can say, I trust my mother and father to protect me from danger and help me be happy. So you trust that they will do the right thing to protect you from danger and help you be happy. That means you believe in them, okay? You think they will be a good person and do the right thing. Okay, great. Now we have 2 more words. So let's do these words. We learned them already, but we will do them again. Clever. Clever is spelled C-L-E-V-E-R. Clever. If you are clever, you are smart and can learn things quickly. Okay? So, like we said, this bird is clever because it learned to put a ball in a basket, right? And we can also say, you are clever. You are clever because you are learning English, right? So, you are learning English, which is very hard. So it means that you are smart and you can learn things, right? So that's really good. If it takes you a little longer to learn English sometimes, that's okay. All right, just keep working hard and keep taking time and saying the words and keep practicing, and you'll learn and learn faster and learn better, okay? Good. All right, so let's go to our last word of the day. Okay. Signal. Signal is spelled S-I-G-N-A-L. Oops. A signal is a gesture or action or sound that tells someone or something to do something, okay? To do, we can say to do an action, okay? So like we said for this picture, the woman is holding up her hand to give the dog a signal, right? So the gesture is her holding her hand up. Now let's think of another sentence. I have an idea. When we cross the street, we look for the walk signal to know it is safe, right? So when we cross the street, if we see a hand, we know that's the stop signal, right? But if we see a green person walking or a white person walking, then we know that's the walk signal and that we should cross the street, right? Yeah. So that's a signal that we see every day. But remember, when you cross, it's still important to look both ways for cars, okay? You have to be safe. So even if the signal says walk, you still must look, okay? Okay. So that is our lesson for today. We learned so many new words, and this week is going to be so fun because we're going to talk about humans and animals working together, okay? All right, so now it's time for me to say bye-bye, okay? But I will see you next time. All right, bye-bye.